BCA match 2. I'm on the same table, which is nice. By the end of that first match, go check that one out if you haven't seen it. Good break from Shawna here. Really full into the one ball. But by the end of that first match, I still had not fully gotten the speed of the table down. And as I mentioned in that last video, I don't really know this team. I've kind of seen them around a little bit, and I try not to look up my opponents before playing the team. I really don't. I don't want to know. I'll look them up after, but I call a push here. In this case, I do have to admit that I am taking a bit of a gamble. I don't know how Shawna plays. Never really seen her play before, but I give her full access to this one ball and basically dare her to get on the two. It's not a sound strategy. You don't want to open up the table like that without really knowing who you're dealing with. Probably just some hubris from me in that case, just like overconfidence. She goes for it, which I think is the right shot, and puts me in a bad spot. This is a really nice two-way. If she had made the one, I think the shape would have been similar. She might have gotten around the 9 with a little more momentum. This was very close to jump. I think dart stroke could have gotten me over this, but check this one out. Using my system, like I do, but I am feeling more confident with cutting the ball with my kick system. I'm going to try to make this one ball. Yes. And those are happening more and more consistently, whether I'm trying to make a ball or play safe kicking into the ball. It's just practice, man. It's just putting in that time and using those systems repeatedly to where I basically develop more of a feel for it. That's the other thing with these tables, like, because I've talked about the skid. I think you need to be hitting these with a little more authority, not just because they're valley tables and it's fun to like smack them around, but you know, the conditions are not super clean all the time. And so it even happens at the place where I play Masters and my Saturday night tournament. They just, you know, they don't like polish the balls that often. And so you just don't want the skid to cause a loss. This is a good play too. Just sort of fully knowing that I needed to get into the 8. It would be, I don't know if it was even possible really to hold the cue ball on the short side of the 4. We're sort of above the 4 in a way that it can be tricky to hold for the 5, but I do still think I've got this. Bridging past the 8, so a bit longer form here, which I've been trying to avoid. It's a good touch, good speed. This one looks pretty nice too. Problem is the 9 is going to take a lot of the cue ball's energy. So I have to think about cutting the 5 in a way that I'm either going into it with pace and moving the 9 past the 6, or going like easing into it and trying to hold the cue ball. Yeah, see, so I tried to hold it and I don't love that. I think I needed to play to overcut the 5 and come fuller into the 9 with pace and just accept whatever kind of look I had on the 6. It would have been, you know, kind of similar to what it is here, a little different having made the 5. But as soon as I let up on the confidence and the tempo that I was playing with before, things start to kind of get weird. Shawna plays a good shot here. I'm pretty sure that was just an intentional safety. I didn't see her call anything, but I know I can make a good hit on the 5. I know the scratch is unlikely just based on the angle of the cue ball. It's almost always going to be driven to the short rail here. So I'm looking at coming into the 5 and just calling the 10 in case it goes. But the primary consideration here is just make a good hit on the 5. Call the 10. She mentioned something about like it not being a win. I think everybody's still clarifying rules and stuff, but it's pro rules basically where early tens, if you make it, you spot the ball. I think it came up in previous videos, but you make it on the break or on a subsequent shot, you continue to shoot. You spot the 10 or the other ball, and you continue your run. So that was my way of just making a good hit. Maybe the 10 goes and I can keep shooting, but didn't make it anyway. She's got a good opportunity here. I think if she could just roll in this 5 ball, honestly. You don't have to do much. Cue ball's not going to get away from you too much here. That should go on a valley. Yep, nice. So from here, rolling in this way, this kind of area for the 7 is nice. It's going to take you towards the 8. Coming out and around is maybe a little touchier, bringing the 10 into play, but I think both are workable. It really just depends on the player. Going through there, obviously it worked out. that looks great. That feels riskier to me, to try to get between the 9 and the 10. The speed control could sort of get away from you too. But yeah, she played it great. Oh no. And don't scratch on top of it, man. If she had made that, the cue ball would have been in here somewhere, I think. I don't know if that's like just a scratch all day long. Oh, this was funny. Little kid like left a truck in the cue ball return. Yeah, that was a tough spot. I think she was always going to end up with a look on the 8. I don't think I would have come down table from that 7 ball. I probably would have come over to the side rail, stay closer to the 8 ball. Ball in hand with these 4 set up, I'm always getting out, right? There's no way I mess this up. Nice and natural. I'm not overthinking that stuff anymore, guys. I'm just kind of letting it happen. Let the cue ball go where it wants to go. That's one that I've been thinking about more recently. Try not to fight it so much. I think that's good practice for me with how much I like to use inside. This one was a little touchy, I will say, because it's very dependent on speed control, and I overrolled that ball. So I get a little weird on the 9. I'm crossing the shot line here. Now, I just got done saying how I don't want to use as much inside, but I'm going to throw a ton of inside on this one because I can't help myself. I just want to come across out and back. Yeah, you see how it digs into the long rail and then sort of straightened itself out? Shawna puts her cue away. Get that one. I think even those I need to play with more pace. I just don't want it to skid. I gotta get in the habit of doing that. Something go. 2 ball went. This doesn't look terrible. The 4 ball's not in a great spot. But if we get good on the 1, either play safe on the 4, send it up table, or let's see. Am I looking at the 4 yet? Commentary, Anthony is looking at the 4. Do we want to play a 4-10? Pretty natural. Yeah, you're all but guaranteed to get on the 3 as long as you play with good speed. There's a lot of room to work with, guys. Like I said, it's a big pocket, so you could manipulate it to where you draw into the 4. Hard to calculate what's going to happen. Play a stop shot, and you're always going to get access to the 4 to where you can play a good safe. Am I able to drift under here? Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I do think the 4 goes up here past the 5, or even in the side if I drift out more than that. I'm probably just going to stun over. Yeah. I let it sort of drag down. This goes. This plays in the side, and then we should be able to get under the 5. I'll roll through this and stay on the right side of the 7. Easy, easy, easy. Ugh. This should be workable. Just sort of screw off the 5. Yeah, get into the low side of the long rail here. Nice. Oh, if I get out from here, I'm going to be stoked. It'll be a break and run, right? This is off the break. Lost track. Am I... Oop. Nudged my own camera. Am I trying to play the 7 long? I kind of like the 7 in the side. I have to go get my cue extension because I like using my equipment. I could probably reach this. It's fine. It's fine. You're allowed to use your equipment. It's still weird. Nope. Gotta get a bridge. That's fine. Maybe that's why I didn't want to try to get into the side pocket for the 7 because it was already bridging over the 7. Shape was a little weird. Well, I'm giving myself a long shot on the 7. Cue ball's always going to roll into the 8 unless I sort of stun off it and try to play the 8 in the left side. I wouldn't mind that because then your stroke's going to be a little firmer. Nudge my camera again. It's actually a better angle. Just roll through this. Nice. That worked out great. Here's a shot that I was thinking about in my last video because I am perfectly straight on the 8 ball, at least straight into the center of the pocket. So to manipulate this to get a good angle on the 9, I had a few thoughts. Yeah, so I first thought about pure draw, get past the 10 and come out to here to get under the 9. I don't mind that, honestly, because anywhere down here is going to be workable for the 9. It's a pretty big window. But I decided to play it super thick over here. I'm basically cutting the 8 to there, and then I'm having the cue ball roll up and out. Watch how far this goes to the outside of the pocket. It still went in, and I hit... I mean, based on what that looked like, it was almost the outside of the pocket, and it still went in. Being able to control for that is really exciting to me. Like knowing specifically where the object ball is going in the pocket. Problem is, they don't just automatically go in all the time. You do still have to make all of them as much as you can. So that's a shame. Missing that 9 ball stings. By rights, I should lose this game. And Shawna can play. I mean, she's lining up in that last game. This would have been a pretty sporty break and run, though, for me. Oh, man. Kind of trying too hard, and the 9 ball goes down there in the bottom left. She gives me a good look at the 10. Not going to come away feeling like I earned that one, but we take those. That is part of the game. So take that, and we are on our way to another sweep. So stick around, and we've got one more match from that week coming up. Hope you guys are enjoying the BCA content. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about this match in particular. There's definitely some interesting stuff that came up, and next match is on its way. So I will see you again soon.